That is what I am talking about. We are here again. Another week. We are so happy to be alive. We are so happy to have, our hearts pumping inside our chests today. Oh my goodness, it's Tuesday today. So this is not what you used to. You used to being here on Mondays with me, where we wake you up, because I know there are those who wake up at noon. Ever since pandemic starts, people have been slacking a little bit, eh? I know that people have been slacking a little bit. So Mondays, usually I'll be here at noon waking you up, waking those little slackers there, who just start their morning in midday. But now we have changed things up a little bit. And we've decided, you guys like the show. We should do it every Tuesday and have you guys, have conversations with us. See, so today, actually, I have a lot to talk about, but I'll try not to talk about my things since I had a wonderful weekend. I have two wonderful guests today, and I know you're going to love this. Here's what I want you to do at home. I want you to be with us and be part of the show and ask questions, comment and ask any questions you may have for our guests or for the show. And tell me what would you like to hear? What would you like us to talk about from time to time? On this show, we aim to empower, we aim to give you information, we aim to, also support artists and give them a platform that they so need, especially now more than ever. In fact, businesses too, small businesses, they need this platform more than ever before, since pandemic has really threw us on the curb. Today I have two wonderful guests. I have today Dr. Ginger Nash, and I have Miss Julie Robbins. I am so happy to have these people here today. You have no idea. I have been trying to get Julie to come here as well for a little bit of time, but she's busy. She's busy, and she has good reason why she's been busy. So I am going to give you a little intro to these two guests I have for you today. I will start with Dr. Nash here. I've got Dr. Nash, who is a graduate from the National College of Naturopathic Medicine. He graduated in 1998, I believe. What was I doing in 1998? I'm not going to reveal my age. And had 20 years plus experience. She has a clinical practice. She's worked at with thousands of women, right? And you've done workshops with different women, with all these women. I've seen you on platforms where I've performed as well, where you've hosted what do you call it again? Workshops and
online courses, and also in private practice. A big focus is women's
right
hormone balance. Yeah.
Right, and Dr. Nash is taught in the University of Bridgeport College of Naturopathic Medicine Clinic for 6 years, and has taught seminars for healthcare practitioners throughout the U.S. and Canada as an education as part of her passion. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were just focused on getting us well and happy, and that's it, and understanding our bodies and healing us the best possible ways you can find out there. And again, I have my friend. Should I call you my friend, Julie? Because I feel like I am. Because I've been seeing you lately a lot too. Julie, actually, both of you, let me just tell people here who don't understand why I'm so happy to have you guys. Both of you guys, I tend to see you pretty much almost every month. And I'm proud for that, because you are keeping me in check. You're trying to make sure that I do take care of myself, so I can keep on doing these things I do. And you know how it can be as well as artists. We tend to neglect a little bit of our self-care routines and stuff. So you guys are there to ensure that we don't neglect that. We keep on track. So I have here Julie Robbins as well. Julie Robbins, I did not know, first of all, Julie, you were not a native of New Haven. I did not know that you were a native of New Haven. So Julie has over 25 years ago, Julie Robbins, LMT, got a random invitation to a massage school intro night and never looked back. That's amazing. With a specialty, right, right. With a specialty in prenatal and postpartum massages. She opened the pregnancy massage center in Atlanta, became a doula, and now she also opened up Westview Massage. I think that's when I actually first got to know you, when you were still there. And now she's operating at the Well for Women, which is a beautiful, beautiful place. If you haven't been there, you've got to check it out. She's currently expanding her offerings in 2021 to care for breast cancer survivors using a combination of lymphatic drainage, scar tissue release, and you gotta help me with this one. Is it Gua Shui or Sha, or is it Jua?
I would say that you're close, but not really. It's gua sha.
Gua Sha. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So you gotta tell us about that as well. So I'm not gonna dwell a lot on your introduction, guys, because I know you can do that more than I can, better than I can. I want us to get to the meat of today. You know, wellness. Wellness is wealth, I say. And as I was saying earlier on, I am one of those people. I'm going to be honest. I am pretty guilty of not really, you know, paying attention to my, to my health holistically, my body. You know, if I've got the face ready, I'm like, yeah, life is good. But no, it's not that. It's not that way. Dr. Nash, tell us why it's important that. Why is it? Sorry, someone is talking to me here. Okay. All right, I got you. I got you, Harry. So you got to tell us what is naturopathic medicines.
So, in the best of circumstances, naturopathic medicine is really a combination of um, traditional medicine. We are trained in all the Western diagnosis and pathology and all that. And our medicine is rooted in science, but it is also, like all medicine, an art. And
Mm,
there are a lot of therapies and training that we get that traditional medical doctors do not get in school, one of the biggest being nutrition. And it's kind of commonly known, or at least in my circles, that MDs only get one nutrition course in their training.
hmm.
It's kind of considered not the most important course that they're getting.
Oh,
So
wow.
naturopathic doctors always, should be talking to their patients about their diet, and the ways that nutrition can improve health in so many areas. It's therapy. I like to say it's therapy we practice at least 3 times a day, everyone. So it's like an incredible opportunity to use food as medicine.
Right.
So naturopathic medicine always has a focus on diet and gut health, but it really is, like you said, Thabisa, a holistic approach. And
Right.
that includes stress management and the physical body work. I mean, almost all my patients, right? I'm so glad to be on this call with Julie, because there's no real separation between working on the internal physiology and health
Right.
without addressing the musculoskeletal system, the fascia, the lymph, all of this stuff that I'm kind of obsessed with. And I know Julie is doing a ton of work in that area as well. So it's
Right.
really the best of what I'd say, both worlds, like
Right.
modern medicine, science-based evidence, but really drawing on some older traditions of herbal medicine,
Right.
clinical nutrition. And then I do a lot of complex homeopathy, which is from the
Yes.
style of homeopathy that I do is actually a school in France.
Mm.
And it's very different than some of the sort of classical or constitutional homeopathy that some people are familiar with as well. So
Right.
it's nice for a naturopath because you can really focus on areas that you're interested in. You can find either a specialty in terms of modalities, meaning the kind of therapy that you do, or you
Right.
can find a specialty in terms of the type of conditions that you
It's
address. But really, we
right.
all address chronic disease.
Right. You guys don't just focus on the symptoms like we would go to a medicine, or rather the traditional doctors. And this is not to say at all that you shouldn't have your
Of
traditional
course.
doctors, right? You can work in conjunction with naturopathic doctors like yourself, and you guys get to the core of the problem. You don't just want to
Yeah, you're
numb
trying to
the
find the root
symptoms.
causes and the drivers of imbalances and disease instead of just
Right.
managing symptoms with drugs or suppressive treatments.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. And so a lot of people may think that this is new, but it's not. It's been around for, I mean, was it even like 19th centuries? Like it's been around, or is it me that I
Well,
think?
naturopathic medicine is only about 250 years old, but obviously we're drawing on traditions, herbal
Right,
medicine, thousands of
right.
years, Chinese medicine, thousands of years, Ayurvedic medicine,
Yes.
thousands of years. So, it's really kind of arrogant, right, for modern medicine to think it has all the answers for everything.
Right, right, right.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
to add to that, we've seen with our recent problems with opioids and all of that, and that didn't really seem to help. It helps to numb the pain, but then eventually they can be addictive. And I don't think with naturopathic medicines, you become. I don't think you become addicted to the medicine.
Yeah, I
The
mean, you
medicine
can
that
use anything in a harmful way. So it's not to
right,
say all natural things are
right,
safe and you can
okay,
just go willy-nilly taking
right,
stuff without
right,
regard to your own individual,
right,
health history and your physiology. But
right.
absolutely, most things are much, much safer and with much, there's, I always say there's no side effects, but there are effects. So it's
Right.
like you have to understand how these things are operating
Right, right.
in a
So,
body.
right. So, you are, for those who are joining us right now, I am with Dr. Ginger Nash and Julia Robbins. And yeah, we're just talking wellness. We're just talking wellness. Let's talk about our bodies. Let's talk about what's happening with them. Are we treating ourselves kindly? And we are on WNHH 103.5 Thabisa and Friends. Now we've changed from Mondays at noon to Tuesdays at 11 o'clock. Good luck to me for making it at 11. It's 2020. It's 2020. People should learn to forgive more. So
Flexibility is the
flex.
name of the game right now in all areas of life.
Oh my goodness, that is so
Yeah,
true. That
yeah,
is so true.
yeah.
I'm gonna go back and forth between the two of you. So I want to talk to you a little bit, Miss Julie Robbins. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got to be here and with the Well for Women?
Sure. I think that I've been obsessed about the care of women and the development of women since I was young. I seem to remember a pivotal moment where I went out for ice cream with a couple of guys, and they were looking for a girlfriend who would submit because they were from a certain religious culture. And that was the moment where I said, wait a minute, let's take a look at culture and women and what's really happening here. So from that, I've really felt like we're living in a time and a place where women's needs are getting are unacknowledged and unaddressed.
Right.
And so I have spent my career as a massage therapist wanting to fill the gap in what culture says women deserve and what I believe women as human beings deserve.
Right.
So pregnancy was the first thing that really came to me because my pregnant clients would come and they would say, well, my doctor says my back pain will be better in 9 months when I've had the baby.
Right.
And that was not enough for me. So looking at the musculoskeletal system of a pregnant woman that gets addressed from head to toe, I thought massage can really make a difference in how this whole experience of pregnancy and birth can go.
Certainly.
So, and I would say, you don't need to feel guilty about the self-care you don't do, because it's our individual choices, but it's also the culture we live in. And we can be mindful of that and say, oh, it's my culture saying that I need to put myself last. and I can make different decisions about that.
Right.
I can rethink that entirely.
Right. Not the red race, right? Because we are all we're in the, I mean, we are in an age where everybody is trying to do so much that we forget to actually have a life to take care of, first. You can't give from an empty cup, right? They say. And I remind myself this, every now and
And
then.
not to interrupt, but I'm sure you've
Right.
both seen some of the research that's come out, just what's happened in the wake of the pandemic, where women are now even more, they're taking on a greater responsibility of the household and
Children being at
managing
home.
homeschooling children and navigating schedules and hybrid schedules for
Right.
different kids,
Right.
or it's even more so now, or working from home for a lot of
Right.
women, right? Like we don't know
Right.
how to create those boundaries, and I'm preaching to myself here too. Working
Right.
from home, it's like you can be at
Yes.
work any time of the day now. It's like
Right.
shut your computer off, you don't need to work at 11 p.m. It's like,
That's
yeah,
fact. That's fact.
yeah.
It's hard when you're at home. It's hard to turn off the button. That you have the switch from when you start and when you end. And especially we have like this different types of jobs. Some people have to be on the computer to do their work, right? Some use their hands and have to physically remove themselves from the technology. But people like myself and I guess both of you guys too, you have to check in your emails and all those things, and you work with your clients online as well, Dr. G. But you I find it difficult because my work is is in the computer. Sometimes it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, I have to draft these emails so that I don't forget. And I'm constantly on the computer now. So it's finding that right balance for yourself, right? Because wellness is not just your just about your physicality only. It's also about your mental health as well. And I've learned, without cutting you off, Julie, as well, like I said, I'm going to ping pong between the both of you. And you can jump in on any of the questions, really ask one or the other anytime. With talking about mental health, I realized when I went to see you, Dr. G, the first time, I didn't just get there and you were like, okay, so what's the problem with your bones? Is it with your this? You asked holistically about me as a person first, I sort of felt like you cared for the mental state, and the psychological state of my being, not just the physicality only. But why is that you didn't just focus on my,
Well,
do I
I
have
mean,
craving?
I can make all the recommendations that I want, but if somebody's lifestyle is not going to be able to handle or implement those recommendations, then it's all meaningless, right? So I'm
Right.
always trying to ascertain what a person's life is like a little bit, and as much as I can, and meeting them,
Right.
in a first meeting.
Right.
But and I oftentimes I will ask a patient at the end of our initial consult as well, like, okay, how much space and how much time. And a lot of times it's really wonderful that women especially are like, okay, so part of my coming to see you is now a commitment to my own care, because I've been
Right.
putting other people first and managing, the health of my family or my
Right.
pets or my workplace or whatever, and I'm going to put myself first.
Mm.
So it's always important to look at
A person.
what the person's lifestyle is. Do they cook their meals at home, or are they eating
Right.
out all the time, or are they always on the go? Do they, all these parameters. And then, also it's just super important. I spend so much time, and again, not to harp on the pandemic, but just everybody's stress levels and
It's high.
anxiety and living with this uncertainty. I spend so much time just trying to educate all my patients, men and women, how to downtrain the nervous system and how not to be so reactive and really develop resilience in the face of these stressors,
Say
um,
that again.
yeah, political, psychological,
Mm.
on a community level, on a national level, on a
Right.
worldwide level. I mean, this is all so it's all new
Right.
territory for all
It,
of us. It's
And
no.
I'll just piggyback on that and
yeah.
say, I've never seen, like post lockdown, the people coming in to see me, the downregulation that happens in massage, it's always good, but people are up to here. And so when they walk out to see them at a different space, the only thing I've seen in my career that's like that has been like women's first massage after having a baby. it's really
Right.
noticeable right now,
Right.
where people are at.
Right. And I just want to also add on that. When I go, Julie, like when I go to your place, I feel like you gotta tell us first. Like, is there certain style that you use, for your massage, like on your people, your clients? Is there different styles or different ways that you cater for different patients? Like you don't only cater for pregnant women,
Right.
or post pregnant. Now you cater for everybody. And also I know that you have added Saturdays for men.
That's
For
right.
guys.
That's our community day. So people
Yeah.
of all genders. Yeah,
Yes,
but everybody needs massage.
absolutely,
Focus on the
absolutely.
needs of women, but everybody.
I'm happy for them.
Right?
I'm happy for them because I know when I go to see you, like the last time I'll specifically talk about the last time I was there. I didn't want to get up. If you left the key, I would have locked myself in, and you would have had to like really pull me out of that room because it was so good and so needed, like we are saying. And there's no way we cannot talk about the pandemic because it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's getting us in so many ways and in such high speed, and it's really getting us down, up and down, up and down. So when I had that massage, it really it took me to a place where I needed to go, and it really made me feel so good. It made me feel like grounded back again, and realizing that, oh my god, like truly I matter, like I matter, and I need to take care of myself, and this is something I deserve as a human being, and I deserve to feel this way, and so I can get back again, on the rat race, I suppose. So is there any style? How do you do it?
Well, first I want to say, I think what's going on there is that we all have to have, I think of Mad Eye Moody from Harry Potter, constant vigilance, right? We're all watching out to be safe in the pandemic. And so we're on alert. And the thing is, we can't stay in that state in a constant way. So in order to maintain that for the endurance sport that this pandemic is, we need to find those places, and massage is one, where you can really let go and relax and feel safe and let your adrenals quiet down, down-regulate your system, and be able to then go back and fight the fight.
Right.
So we use, all of our therapists have multiple modalities, as I'm sure Dr. Nash has had many trainings. And so we have a basis in deep tissue and Swedish massage. We have additional trainings beyond that. I'm trained in neuromuscular therapy, and we have someone on staff who does pediatric massage for kids.
Oh, wow.
So lots of different pieces. We're adding the gua sha training and the other ones in 2021. And before I get into that, what I want to say is our mission here, all of our therapists, I talk to them and I say, look, our real mission is to share kindness with our clients, to be kind. And we do that through the modalities of massage and body work that we know.
Right.
So I think that's a piece of it, that it's very, it's about the intention of what we do as well as what our hands are actually doing.
Right. It's
So-
felt. It's felt. It feels through. We can feel it. I feel it, and that's why I keep on coming back. That's why I keep on coming back.
Sharing our humanity in that way. And human beings need touch, especially now people are very isolated. So it's
Yes.
a way of having safe connection if you're alone in your house. I massaged someone the other day. I said, when was the last time you were touched? And she said, honestly, March.
Wow.
And that's hard on us as human beings. So that's part
We're
of
not
what,
wired that way.
yeah.
Yeah, why though? Tell us a little bit. Yeah,
ahead.
Julie, tell us. I know you touched a little bit, and you said you didn't want to get into it. I want you to get into it. You not only just focusing on massages, right? 2021, you have plans. You have offerings for us. 2021. What are they? Please let us know. Tell us.
So these are alternate forms of body work. And as we were talking about before, they're not new. They're thousands of years old. I'm going to show you this. What this looks like is a soup spoon, but it's also been used for a good 5,000 years in Thailand to do gua sha massage. It's not massage, it's body work. So
Okay.
what we do is a gua sha massage fusion, and we feel the body, we check it out, we feel where we might need to use a tool like this, or actually in my practice, I use something that is easily sterilizable. I have this one and a larger one for larger muscle groups.
Okay.
And what it does, gua actually translates as scrape, and sha translates, I think, as like something like the circulation that comes to the surface. It shows up in little red dots.
Right.
And so you're working along the body. I don't know here to sort of describe. It's very superficial work, but what it does is it flushes out the old circulation, the circulation that's been stagnant, sitting there without oxygen, and brings in fresh oxygenated blood and breaks up the fascia. And that's sort of a way of explaining it. I come from more of a Western mindset, but I also believe there's so much in the East, there's wisdom there that just maybe we haven't translated yet.
Right.
So they describe it as moving out stagnant energy.
Right. Oh, wow.
Or chi.
Okay. Okay. So,
but I can feel the difference in the texture of the tissue.
So you're offering this next year, not now, because next month is coming. My appointment is coming.
So I'm already trained and certified, and actually I've been using these tools on myself and friends for years. So I am ready to go. We're going to be starting to talk about them more publicly when my whole team is on board. We've got everybody trained.
Perfect. This is great. This is great. Dr. G, this is similar to
a testimonial. I've had gua sha and it's amazing.
Oh,
it's especially great, like, because the lungs, everybody's concerned about lung health and respiratory health going into the winter. And really most of people think of the lungs on the front of their body, but the lungs are huge and you can access them from the back. So getting gua sha on your back is like amazing for respiratory health and the energetic part of the lungs. Yeah.
It's helpful for fighting the common cold, and it's something that you can learn to do yourself. Yeah, it really helps the immune system along with lots of other things. So
talking about immune systems and all of this, it reminds me of you, Dr. G. With what you do as well, you focus on women a lot in terms of our hormonal imbalances and you also you know tell us a little bit about lymphs and your work around that.
Well, yeah, Julie, talking about gua sha, I mean, I'm sure one of the things that it's moving is the lymphatic.
Yes, you've given me the brush too.
Yeah. So I almost always include some type of lymphatic support in all of my treatment protocols. And I also do a form of regulation thermography that measures the lymphatic health and the flow of lymph through the body. It's I won't get too into the details of that, but it's different than traditional thermography that just takes a picture, because it's measuring 120 points. Most of them are acupuncture points, but there are 32 points on the breast and then all these lymph points. So I can actually see what's going on in anyone's lymphatic system. And the lymphatic system is often overlooked in traditional medicine, but in natural medicine circles, it's a little bit more focused on, because it's one of the major ways that impacts the immune system. It carries all of the immunoglobulins and our white blood cells all around our body. And our little lymph nodes are like these little sponges where your immune system actually identifies toxins or pathogens, and then the immune system makes specific antibodies in those lymph nodes. So it plays a huge role in our immune system. So if we've got sluggish lymph, you could argue that you're a little bit more likely to be susceptible to an infection. And if you had chronic infections, like, you know, being all of us here in Connecticut, Lyme, all the co-infections of Lyme, other pathogens, viral pathogens, etc., that can actually impact the health of your lymphatic system, because if it's overworked, it can also become sluggish. So that's one aspect of why lymph is important, but also it's the major waste management system of the whole body. So the type of homeopathy that I mentioned earlier is sometimes referred to as biotherapeutic drainage, which is different than MLD, which is manual lymphatic drainage, but it works so beautifully because in conjunction, so really everybody should be seeing Julie for the lymphatic drainage part. And I do a lot of work internally with moving the lymph internally with different complex homeopathics and with various herbals. I also love using essential oils. So there are some essential oils
Right.
that can be used both topically or internally that are specific for the lymph.
Right. And dry
So
brush, right? The dry brush.
dry brushing,
Mm-hmm.
rebounding, mini trampoline rebounding, which has been shown in various studies to decrease women's risk for breast cancer.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's most probably because it's moving the lymph. And there
Right.
are some people that would even say
Wow.
that you can't, without lymphatic impairment, you can't develop cancer. I mean, what's the first thing that they do when
Goes for that.
they look at the lymph and, okay, is this cancer on the move, or is it localized? But the lymphatic health is super intertwined with both our ability to eliminate and detoxify
Right.
thousands of toxins that we're exposed to on a daily basis. And it's also playing a huge role in our immune system.
Mm.
And then one of the things that I've written about, actually, and we can share this article if women are interested, in the show notes,
Mm.
is
Yeah.
that there's some evidence, and there needs to be more research about this, but there's some evidence that because of the nature of our hormones,
Mm.
some of them are more polar than not. So they're attracted to more fatty substances. And the
Right.
lymphatic system moves this lymphatic fluid around the body. And it's theorized, and it's been somewhat studied again, but it needs more, that it moves progesterone around in the body. So if you've got sluggish lymph, you're not moving your progesterone around. And progesterone is very important in terms of balancing out the effects of estrogen. Most women are what we call estrogen dominant because
Mm.
there are so many estrogenizing chemicals in the environment. Many
Mm.
women are having anovulatory cycles. They're not ovulating regularly every month, so they're not producing enough progesterone.
Okay.
So a lot of times the
Is
imbalances.
it like a steroid?
So these are all steroid hormones,
Mm.
progesterone and estrogen
Right.
and testosterone. All of our androgens are all
Right.
steroid hormones.
Mm-hmm.
But the lymph ties in because it may move progesterone around in the body more effectively.
Got
So it
it.
just helps all the tissues that are being stimulated by estrogen. So
Mm-hmm.
an estrogen dominant picture is like a woman who has a lot of PMS symptoms or breast tenderness or bloating
Mm.
before the menses, potentially some mood dysregulation,
Right.
inflammation. There's an inflammatory type of estrogen that can make us feel pretty crummy.
Mm.
So progesterone is just really important to, make sure
Right.
that it's also stimulating the same tissues that estrogen are stimulating. So,
Right. Right.
so almost everybody who sees me gets some type of lymphatic support. And I would,
Exactly.
highly recommend the body work aspect in conjunction with, it's great to know, Julie, that you're doing post breast cancer because I have
Right.
a lot of people that, and another thing that I'm treating a lot more of, which is interesting, is women who are getting explants. So they've had breast implants and they've
Mm.
developed autoimmune diseases, or just that can impact the health of the lymph. They've developed fatigue or, brain fog, all these things that are sort of these
Right.
non-specific symptoms. So
Right.
women are getting their implants removed.
Right.
In the wake of that, you really, really need to get hands-on body work,
Right. To
and
get
do
your function of your body. Yes.
get all kinds of lymphatic support in the wake of that.
Right.
I have probably have, a dozen patients right now that are in that process of recovering after having their breast implants removed.
Right. Right. So also, like, when you just reminded me a little bit about teens as well, because I think sometimes we forget a little bit about our teenagers, those who have teenagers. I have a preteen. I won't like, no, 13 is a teen, right? It's not a pre
Yeah,
anymore.
please.
Yeah, she's there. She's there. And you find that with the teens, I'm going to specifically obviously talk more on the girl side of the teens, because I don't know how it, raising teen boys and all and that and all of that. But I've been realizing due to the pandemic, pandemic yet again, since the kids are always at home and they are learning at home. She's been struggling, and she's always on the computer too because of work, from 8 o'clock sometimes till 9, because she's got so much work to do. And I realized that she's having problems with sleep, right? And I wonder, well, I do not wonder. I know other parents have been having similar problems with their teens, that, they're having irregular sleep, and stresses are high and all of these things. So, and also they don't see their friends. So it is a very important thing for young children to socialize. We are all social beings, and for the teens it's even more, because they want younger ones, and the teens, it's more important. That's where they're developing. That's where they get into a phase where they want to become, I don't know how yet. They're still babies, but then they're like, no, we are our individual beings. So I wonder if do you have an age restriction, Julie or Dr. Nesh, for girls to come and see you to your practices and your massage home?
We don't have an age restriction.
Okay.
And I actually think I have a 12-year-old, and she asks for the official massage at my place on a regular basis. We maybe get her in every couple months. She loves it. And what I know is from the other young girls that come in, usually if they're under 12 or so, we ask that the mom or the parents stay in the room. So, and Susan is the one who does those massages. She's great at explaining it carefully, talking about consent, which is so important.
Wow.
Respecting those bodies when they're so, going through so much about how they appear and all of that.
Right.
So over that age, what we've seen is moms bringing in teen daughters for all those reasons you were just talking about. They're in front of those screens. They're full of anxiety. They're hunched, and they're not aware of good body mechanics. So they're really straining. It's the endurance sport, right? Of use. Right. And just because they're young doesn't mean they're not going through it, just like we all are. Right. So, I think it's been helpful. She's brought her in. We see them more than once. And those teen girls are not going to come again if they don't want to. So of course we feel that's an endorsement.
Right.
But also for me, for my two kids, 10 and 12, we got them out in the woods climbing on boulders on Sunday. And it was such the antithesis to their everyday. I thought climbing boulders was less of a risk. They're good climbers, so I trust them. But in terms of the risks kids take, this is a good one, and it really gets them tired and worn out, and then we see good sleep after that. So that would be my recommendation: is take them out on an empty beach. Let them run up and down your street if it's safe.
That's right.
Do something physical that really pushes them to get them away from the screens, because it is 24/7
on the computers. All day. Right. And we just and us as parents sometimes not finding the time, because we are in the same predicament with them. We are always on screen with our work and other things, So Julie, tell me, first of all, I want to give out a shout out to Angie. I love Angie. I love Angie. Angie is the receptionist at the Well for Women. She's just a wonderful, all around wonderful human being, and I wanted to give her a shout out and say hello there. If you're watching, we are thinking of you.
I have to say, I like to call her the front desk ninja, because she can do it all, and she can do it all at once, with a smile.
She's such a kind, and it shows.
So detail oriented, right? Yeah.
Right.
She will take care of you and answer all your questions if you call. She's a really important member of the team. And someone asked me today at the Well, what are you grateful for this year? And I just want to say, I'm so grateful for my team. I'm so grateful to have Angie.
Right.
I mean, I could name them all, but I don't want to leave anybody out.
Right.
So
sorry to interrupt. I wanted to for a second think about how you want to close this segment today, as well as I wanted to thank my guests for today for watching and for supporting local businesses. And we know that we are going a tough time, and we are trying to support our communities and sort of share that wealth around and get everybody supported and get everybody, businesses opened and get the artisans and artists working, and supporting their families. So I wanted to thank everybody who's doing that, buying locally. And I know Amazon is a huge thing. Let's just do our best to and I'm saying this to myself as well. Let's just, because it's Christmas time around the corner for those who celebrate Christmas, and it's gifting time this around about this time of the year. Get a massage gift card. Get someone to see Dr. Nesh and have a consultation. It's free. The first consultation. Have a chat with her and find out what you can do to give yourself a gift of health, a gift of wellness. There's so many ways you could support our local businesses. Book someone to do a potch concert. You don't have to be close to them. There are so many ways you can support one another. And before I let my guests, share their last thoughts, anything they want to share with us, this is going to be a chance, beautiful ladies. But I wanted to remind my fans out there as well that I have some new music coming out. I have been recording, and I have a single that's coming out. I've been putting it out for quite some time now, and finally, it's getting its inspection before it can go on all digital stores. And I hope you will be there, and I hope you will share it. I want to be one of those artists that are like, oh my gosh, I went viral. Uh, but I'm excited for this music. It's a lovely single. That it's a song that is really personal to me, but at the same time, it had you in mind. Through it, it's just fitting for this time. It has a bit of a mantra in there, but you hear it when the time is right. But yes, you are listening to WNHH 103.5 FM with Thabisa and friends. I would love for you, Dr. Nesh, to tell us before we close one last thing that you would like to say before we close the show. Oh, wait. Before you do that, I see something is up, and this is the well.
What's going on there?
Yes. You can
X out that box.
right, X out the box. So that, well, before we go to Dr. Nash, let's check this out. That is the well. That is how it looks like. You can go on there and get that gift for your loved one, your mom that needs it the most probably right now, your grandmama who hasn't been out in a while, and that teen that needs her, to just unwind a little bit and stop stressing about TikTok for just an hour or so. so this is it. That is the well about the beautiful, serene, beautiful place. I love the colors, Julie. Absolutely love the colors. Nice ambient. The place is just wonderful. When you go in there, you feel, if you didn't feel okay, you get in there, you're like, I'm fine. Why am I here? This happens to me a lot. I go to Dr. Nash, I'm like, I'm gonna go and see her. I don't feel so great. And I get there and I feel fine. It happens all the time. I get to the doctor's office, I feel fine. I go to the massage place, I'm like, I don't have the muscle aches anymore. So it just shows that, look at that. This could be you. Wonderful people. This is a beautiful.
Shout out to Sherry Landa, our website designer.
Oh.
I didn't even show the website, so I got to.
Yes, that's your stuff. That is your stuff. So whoever wants to go first, really, share your last words. Before we end the show, Dr. Nash, you can go.
Yeah, sure. I wanted to just touch back to the question you asked earlier about ages and teens. Just because I love working with teenage girls, especially because it's my belief and understanding, and from my experience, how important our hormones are to our understanding of self and our embodiment as women. And I just think so many young girls, if they have any type of problems with their periods, irregular cycles, or painful periods, or PCOS, they get put on the pill. And then the pill just shuts down that entire natural monthly cycle. And it really, and not to sound too judgmental, I mean, we all have to make those very personal decisions.
Right.
But it really can cut a woman off, and a young woman, especially when it's so important for development, for hormones to really help you understand who you are and make good choices about your life, and be really confident and feel good in your body, and be in touch with that deeper intuition and deeper voices that women are taught by our culture to ignore and to push down. to always be happy and agreeable and
Yes.
all of that stuff that women are expected to be.
Mm.
Um, I think part of the reason that it's so important for us to have our hormones balanced is because it really does help us find our true self on a very deep level. So I love working with teenagers.
Right.
And I don't work with too many teenage boys, but usually moms can drag their teenage girls in to see me, and then it's
Right.
it's been a lot of fun to work with that age group. But yeah, in
Yeah.
closing, I mean, I would say that's on the
And
10,000
also share your details. So,
level.
also share your details how people can reach you.
Oh yeah, you can find me. I have a website that's just my name, Ginger Nash. I've had a practice in my home now for a few years, but I've been in New Haven for 21 years practicing. So yeah, I've been here for a long time. I'm dedicated to serving the community. I think, we've heard a lot about self-care, but it's really community care that we need. So
Mm.
thank you, Thabisa, for this opportunity to give some information to your listeners. And I'm pretty easy to find. I'm the only Ginger Nash naturopath on Google.
Nice. Nice one. And you have a page, Facebook page, a very vibrant Facebook page, because I see a lot of
Yeah.
there we go. I see a lot of women engaged in your page, which is such a
Oh,
wonderful thing.
yeah.
You
I
share
have a
such
group
good
for women only called Feminology on Facebook. It's
yes.
a private group. And I do that with my partner, Dr. Tara Nyack, who's also a naturopathic physician in Philadelphia. But we started Feminology in part to give out information for not everybody has access to naturopathic medicine, sadly. So it's a place where you can get some good, free, or inexpensive,
Mm.
information about what we're doing and how we support women. So
Right.
please, yeah, find me on Facebook too. That would be great.
Right. Perfect. Well, thank you. I mean, it was a pleasure to have you. Miss Julie Robbins, you want to say any last words for our guests? I mean,
One
sorry,
thing I was
listeners.
thinking I wanted to share today was an article from the New York Times that I heard yesterday
Mm,
or a
please.
couple days ago called Pandemic Proof Your Habits.
Mm,
And I thought it had so much wisdom. I want to encourage everybody to go look that up. I think we have had to be so flexible in dealing with what's coming every day by day about with this pandemic and how we've needed to respond to it. Um, but also, one of the things we've done is we've felt like we've lost some of our habits that we've had to like rein in because of safety. And I think that that's right to be conservative and careful with the
right.
pandemic. But what this article suggests is that human beings feel safe when we have routines, and those things make us feel safe in our brain and help us relax a little bit. So if we've
Right.
lost some of those things, those routines that we
Right.
need to let go of because of the pandemic, it's important to replace those with new habits.
Right.
So finding things that are safe, that you can do now, that may be small, may seem insignificant, but I think those things will help us
Right.
get through the next 6 months until we're in a different place.
Right.
And
Right.
I'd like to suggest that one of those things you could do is add massage to your
Yes.
routine. And we're super careful. You can see on our website all
And
of
it's
the things
safe.
we do. We have gear. We have all the PPE you can imagine. We have 2 air filters in each room, and our sanitation is just I can't think of anything else we could do.
Right.
So I feel safe going there every day, and there isn't very much else that I do. I'm very cautious in that way, but I feel safe there every day, and so I believe that I can say in good faith that it would be safe. Everyone has to make their own judgment calls, of course, but
Yes.
we'd like to see people add massage to their self-care routines, especially now because of all this pressure and stress that we're under. It's one new habit
Right.
that people can add for themselves to help them feel safe and relaxed.
Right. Wow. Thank you so much. This was very informative, and I feel honored to have you guys because I know you're busy. I know you're busy. You've even had to, move around and change your appointments and all of that just to make it to this show. So I really appreciate that, and you putting your time and effort. It's not easy to change anything. It's not easy to lift a finger these days. So to be here and showing up and making it, really appreciate it. I feel so honored, and much respect to the both of you. Everybody, you are listening to WNHH 103.5 here on, I wanted to remind people as well. If you can't do things, it's okay. If you can't sometimes show up to things because you needed to breathe, please breathe. And this is something I'm telling myself every single day. It's been something I have to say it out loud sometimes because I'm a bit harsh on myself. And also I'm just an antsy person. I want to do something, but now I'm trying to take one step back, and it's hard for someone like me, but I'm trying every day. It gets better. So I want to just say, people, it's okay to breathe. It's okay to breathe. It's okay to breathe. And thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Harry, for always plugging us in. You're the best. And I hope to see everybody again on Tuesday. This show happens every Tuesday at 11 o'clock. So thank you so much, guests.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Good to see you.
Thank
Yes.
you, Dr. Nash.
Yes, you too, Julie. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're a good dancer.
We're off, right?
Yeah. We might not be. I can promise you that. Love it. You're a good dancer. You're a good
I love this.
I've seen you with your habit. I've seen you.
I love dancing with him with anything. Shout out to my husband. Wait, Ella. Love this song. You, right?
Yep. Called One of a Kind.
This is Harry Groves, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven.
That's right.
How about the shoulders?
I like that one.
Belly dance.
Oh yeah.